Hey y'all.
Hey everybody,
Hey everybody.
how we doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's going on, everybody? So listen, we wanted to get on here, Miriam, Kim, and myself. Miriam, for those of you who don't know, Miriam Kim is. Let me go this way. Miriam Kim is the owner and proprietor of Going for the Gold Vocal Coaching, and she was the one that was instrumental in coaching me last year when I won Karaoke World Championships Nationals, and was also instrumental in helping me go to the world competition for Karaoke World Championship. So we wanted to come on here a little bit and kind of have a quick chat with you guys. I know for those of you from KWC who may be watching or may watch this after the fact, may be interested in hearing about some of these things. A lot of you guys are in your feelings. I feel emotions are high right now. We get it. We understand, especially me, because I just went through that 12 months ago. I understand where you're coming from. But we wanted to get on here and we wanted to tell you guys a little bit more and talk to you a little bit more about some do's and don'ts, just to kind of help you navigate through any kind of contest you may be dealing with, not just necessarily KWC, but any contest or any kind of sports or events that require you to present yourself in a certain way. So without further ado, this is Miriam. So everybody welcome Miriam. Yay!
Hey everybody. So, okay. We just got through a really grueling, oh my gosh, what was it, 2 months?
Yeah, two
Feels
months of
like,
judging.
oh goodness gracious. So Michael and myself, along with Tommy and Chris, were coaches for the KWC Keep On Singing program, where we had our teams of seven initially start out, and we each came out with a champion to represent the U.S. for the World Finals. Um, Whatever we talk about today, it applies to all competitions. I know a lot of you guys out there are preparing for the WKT competition that's going on, and getting your videos ready for that and everything. So I kind of wanted to come on and start the conversation off with expectations versus reality, right? So when you go into a competition, we know that whatever competition you're in, you're putting your heart and soul into your music, into your production. Especially with COVID going on, a lot of competitions have been going digital, and you have to produce these videos, and you have to be your own videographer and your own sound engineer, and things can get really wonky sometimes, especially if you're not very tech savvy. And normally we would go into a venue and you would do it live. You don't already have a videographer there. You would already have a sound engineer there, and all you have to do is just stand there and sing and look cute and do your thing, right? But there's that added stress of having to produce these beautiful videos, at least something that's visually appealing, right? Doesn't have to be like top of the line production, whatever, but it's usually, people want to elevate their video quality, because if you get a good video, you could put it on your YouTube channel. You could send it out as a press kit, whatever. It's demo, of you singing. If you want to go on some, if you want to audition for some of these shows, TV shows and stuff. So the expectation for ourselves when we're in competition is that we want to put out our best foot forward. With that being said, and with KWC closing out a couple nights ago, I know, having been a competitor for many years, I have had my fair share of ups and downs in competitions.
Same, girl.
Right. And when you win, it's a great feeling. It's an amazing feeling. But when you don't win, you either go through feelings of hurt, of dejection. You feel like maybe you're not good enough.
You feel angry.
Angry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you might not agree with the winners.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the negative, the ugly side of competition starts coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always, you know, it's interesting because, you know, this is one of the reasons why I never wanted to judge a contest, is because the very first people who get blamed in a contest when things don't go the way a contestant wants it to go is a judge, is the
Right.
judging panel. Okay. And Michael, I know that you have dealt with some casualties.
I just, you know, for me, it's been this entire process has been a learning experience, right?
Yes.
So, and that was part of the reason why I accepted to do it. When I was asked to do it and approached about it, I was hesitant at first, because I wasn't, number one, I wasn't sure of the commitment level. I wasn't sure if I could provide the commitment that I know it needed, and that I'm used to providing. Like, if I say I'm going to do something, I don't half-ass it. I do it. And I wanted to make sure that I gave that to this particular project. What I found disconcerting was the reaction that I got, from some of the contestants, about my, just basically all I'm doing is giving an opinion, because that's what all the judge can do, is give you an opinion about how they feel your presentation was. Now, what got me was, that all of a sudden, and that this is the part that wasn't kind of explained to me, and I don't think anyone kind of was able to explain to me, because you have to kind of be in it to then experience it, right?
Right.
So what happened for me was, I then, my integrity got questioned, my expertise was brought into question, my ability as a singer was brought into question. um the mention of, well, you know, who does he think he is, mentality started to come in. And when I tell you there's no ego here, baby, ain't no ego here. Baby, ain't no ego here. I'm just like one of y'all. I'm no better than nobody. But when I say I'm going to do something, when I'm given the responsibility to do something, I try my hardest to do it to the best of my ability. And what hurt me the most, I think, was the fact that people didn't even give me the dignity to explain, if they wanted an explanation of what my opinion was based on, or what I saw in them, or, and here's the other thing that, and I know you can attest to this, Miriam. When you're in a competition, a lot of them, I've been in a lot of them that I haven't talked about or mentioned just because it was so horrific. But I've been in a lot of them in 40 years, and I a lot 90% of them, they just give you a no,
Mm-hmm.
right? They just give you a no. They don't explain to you why they're giving you that no, what you could work on and improve, what can get you the yes the next time you want to try this contest out.
Mm-hmm.
AGT, The Voice, American Idol, X Factor. I did all of those. Never got an explanation as to why, but I got the no. So what I was trying to do was give the people that were in that position that I had been in the explanation. Here's what I think you can work on. Here's what I'm hearing that I think you can improve upon. Now, I'm not saying that you had to take it as gospel, but I thought that at least the person would have given me the respect of, well, he's a 2019 national champion. He must know a little something about this competition that we're currently in. Um, so that was where I kind of was a little put off, and then to just be kind of thrown away as a friend, because there were some of these people were my friends outside of this, because this is not my day job. None of us got paid from this. We
Right.
literally, and this leads into the next topic. We literally worked on this 5 hours, 6 hours a day at times. There was times where I'm in the middle of I'm in the middle of a show, a paying show, and I'm stopping to run to the bathroom to go talk to a contestant because they're upset about their video. They don't know. They want my opinion. Yada yada yada. And I have to run and go do that and run back to go get the next singer up on stage for his karaoke thing. or I'm at a wedding. I was doing a wedding. I mean, all these things happen, and these contestants have no idea of the level of commitment that we put into this. And so it frustrates me as well to hear people complain and demean the efforts that we've put into this thing, because nobody has. Now, mind you, I'm not even talking about Josh and Katie at this point. I'm simply talking about the judges that were day in, day out having to commit as coaches to these just 7 singers. Back it up. When we were doing the auditions, there were far more singers. There were 20 some odd singers that we had to go through each video and give a critique and give a score and explain, and all of that. All of that had to happen amidst our lives. Like, there's only 24 hours in a day, and 8 of those we have to at least sleep on.
Right. And I mean, so you're not the only one that suffered casualties or have been unfriended.
I'm quite sure.
So it's interesting because that's actually one of the reasons why I had refused to judge, even though I had been asked to be a judge for KWC many times over. And each time I would refuse because I knew that as soon as I give criticism or what people consider to be a slap in the face on their efforts, or if I were to just give them any kind of constructive tips, I knew that there would be individuals who would take that very personally, and it would come back to slap me in the face. And I'm someone who's all for the singers and their growth.
Absolutely.
And I want them to succeed. And look, if you're doing something wrong, if you're doing something that is sabotaging you, look, if you're not winning these contests, you're not placing as high as you want to be placing or as high as you think you deserve to place. The first and foremost thing is get out of your own head, because you're telling yourself.
And get out of your own way.
Right. Get out of your own way, because sometimes it takes an objective perspective.
Yes.
Okay. It takes someone who is outside of the box, who is not you or your family or your close-knit of friends, who are always going to tell you you're amazing. Okay.
Right.
It's why a lot of these contestants on these shows are super surprised when they go on and you're just like, they're not that good. Well, why did they think that they could go ahead and go on these shows? Why? Because their family and their close group of friends tell them how awesome they are. But the thing is, do you not want to grow is my question. Do you not want to succeed? And that's why we were here, because this year with the Keep On Singing program, I decided to come in as a judge. Why? Not because I have FOMO.
Missing out for those of you who don't know what that means.
Okay, listen, I've been involved with KWC since 2013, and I've been involved every year, consecutive year without fail. I have been here for every singer every year. And I have met some incredible human beings.
Right.
Okay. So this year, with the option of this Keep On Singing program and the idea of being a coach and actually being able to get in there and really hone in on some of these contestants and really bringing out their star quality, that is what what attracted me to say yes to judging. Now, I knew that there were going to be some people who were going to be upset with me, but little did I know that the casualties that I faced, the people that ended up unfriending me, were people I've known for years. They know me personally. So to me, I was dumbfounded, because here I am. You guys don't even understand with these coaches, okay? We had to give up our lives for this competition. I don't think you understand. See, the thing is, these contestants only had to worry about their own songs.
Right.
Your coaches had to worry about everybody on their team. And so to say anything negative about the coaches, to bash a competition because things just don't go your way, or you're set up with a coach that you did not initially want in the first place, it is a complete and utter disrespect of the time and energy that I had to put my schooling on hold. I had to
Same.
put my family on hold.
Same.
This consumed my life other than my day job. I was
Exactly.
even doing live streams and getting on the shows, in the live shows, because,
Mhm.
even during work hours.
Yeah,
So
right.
listen, am I upset? Absolutely, I am upset, because it's very disrespectful to all the coaches, and it's disrespectful to all the judges who
Mhm.
took time out of their day to judge your videos as fairly as they possibly could.
Absolutely.
And honestly, I am one of those people. Yes, I have had my fair share. You guys don't even understand. I might be a vocal coach, but I was a competitor for many, many years. And I've
Right.
lost my fair share and I've won my fair share.
And
Okay?
that,
But
honestly, at the end of the day, Miriam, that's what we're all chasing as singers. We're
right,
all chasing for that win. And when we don't
right,
get it, we're all upset. We all have feelings. I understand. I get it. We both get it. But at the end of the day, what separates a winner is not whether or not they won that actual event. What separates is their behavior, is what
right.
happens when they lose. How
I
do you
absolutely
behave when
agree.
you, because there's a sore loser and there's a sore winner.
That's
There's
right.
two of those.
Yep,
And
yep,
what I was seeing, what made me sad in my own community of KWC, was seeing sore losers. And that
that,
made me sad, because I have so much more faith in this whole company, this whole community. I expect more from my fellow competitors. I
right,
expect more from you, because
right.
I was there with you. I didn't win in 2018, but I wasn't sore. I didn't win Worlds, but I wasn't sore about it.
Nope.
I swallowed it, went on with what I had to, got mad, had my little meltdown for a second outside, walked away, had my little meltdown, and I was fine. Went to the after party, sang it up, drank it up, whooped it up, went back to bed. I couldn't even go to bed because we had to go to whatever, but
That is
I did what I had to do.
yes.
Like nobody can say I carried on in the way that I'm seeing a lot of these people carry on. And I understand everybody's stressed out because of the fires, because of COVID. There's a lot going on in 2020. I get it.
But
But at
part
the
of it is actually stepping away.
yes,
Look, we're not saying that you cannot be upset. Of
right,
course, you are fully entitled to feeling upset. Absolutely. It's
right,
devastating when you've put that much time and effort in producing good material,
right,
and you don't get the outcome that you're desiring.
right.
Then it is, you almost feel like it's easier to blame someone else than it is to take
Yes,
ownership of what you've produced.
right.
But at the bottom line is, I know for me, even if I've lost the contest, I never blame the judges. I have never once blamed the judges. I have never once questioned the judges.
The
I
only
look
thing
at
I can
my own
say,
performance.
the only thing I can ever say that I've ever said about judges was that maybe they didn't like what I was presenting. I don't know what they want. That's the only thing I've ever
Right.
said. I just
And
don't know. I'm not what they want.
I mean, if you got a no at America's Got Talent, if you went for an audition there and you got told no, are you gonna be mad at the producer that told you no? No,
You move
you're not.
on.
Okay, or I hope you not. You know.
Right.
Um, but
I
it's
just
like it's an ego thing, and it's like
yeah.
we as singers, I get it. Okay, I get it. I really do. When you spend years and years honing your craft, and you've developed your own unique sound, and people don't like it, it hurts. But here's the bottom line: in the music industry, you're not gonna get everybody to like your sound.
I'm telling you
Period.
right now. I'm telling you right now, y'all. I promise you, there's gonna be a lot more no's than there are yeses. I
Right.
promise you.
Right.
Nothing's a fairy tale. It is not glam and glitz and glamour. It's a lot of nasty, dirty, hard work that you got to put in if this is what you really want to do. If you're just playing around and you don't really care, then be
But see,
well.
here's the thing. This is where it comes down to. It's an attitude thing. Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's a mental.
if
It's a
if
mentality.
you're doing competitions for fun, then why are you getting mad?
Period.
Because you
That
didn't take it
part.
seriously. So why are you getting mad if the results didn't come through? If you are taking it seriously,
Mm-hmm.
right? then the correct mentality is
Yeah.
evaluate your performance and evaluate
Yes.
it for growth. Don't get mad at the competition or the judges because they didn't give you the scores. Now, see, when I look at it though, here's my beef with it. If I look at this, when I'm getting targeted and I see that the other judges are not getting targeted and it's specifically me, and I know that I scored you well, then what's the beef?
Right.
You know,
Right.
if
Speak on it.
right. So if you're gonna if you unfriend someone you've known for years, what that tells me is that you were expecting me to rig the contest in your favor. Now, anyone who knows me and my close friends here in my town will tell
Mm.
you I don't want Miriam Kim on the judging panel because I know she is a tough judge and I know she's going to give it to me straight. You could be my best friend. You could be my worst enemy. I will judge you on the same playing field and I will judge you accordingly. If my best friend saying worse than my worst enemy, the scores will show that. I'm a very fair and unbiased judge. So when you're coming at me as my friend, or as what I assume to be my friend, and the reaction after a contest that doesn't go your way is to stop speaking to me or eliminate me, that makes me question what your motive was to be nice to me in the first place and where our friendship was in that moment, and so
I'm here. Go ahead,
yeah,
Miriam.
that's yes,
I'm gonna take you with me so we can keep
yeah.
this
So
conversation going.
I'm just sitting here. I am a bit hurt at the reactions of some of these contestants. I'm actually a bit more, I'm hurt, but I'm also very, very, very disappointed. And it comes down to sportsmanship, and it comes down to having good sportsmanship. Whether you want, whether things went your way or didn't go your way, what I said on the live stream when I said, if you've grown, you've won,
Right. I mean,
I mean that.
Miriam, we just got to do better, sis. As a community, as a people, as a KWC family, we just got to do better. Period. End of story.
Right.
What I saw and the things that were said and things that are being flung around, and I don't need to know the specifics of everybody's business. That's none of my business. What
Right.
all I want us to do is be better people. Understand that everything is not as black and white as you think it might be just
No.
because you're on one side of the equation and you think you know what's going on and you really don't know what's going on. You don't see the underbelly of everything that had to happen in order for you to be able to even present something.
Right. And the thing is, I watch people's behavior. My major is psychology, so I do watch people's behavior and how they process, disappointments. And it's fine to be upset, but don't take it out on other people. Don't be that person. Don't blame other people because you didn't get the results you wanted. Now there are people in this contest who were eliminated early on, who maybe never got to semifinals, who maybe never got into the Keep On Singing program. And their reaction and their ability to hold their heads up high and continue working and still decide to reach out to the coaches and talk to them and say, hey, I want to work with you so that I can come back next year and be better. Those are the people that I really, really love dearly because they are there for growth. And they were able to process that hurt from being eliminated. They were dealing with that loss better, and with
Yes.
class. And I'm all about
Yeah.
handling rejection with class. Okay,
Same. Yeah.
I when I for me it's like at this point I am a vocal coach, and some of the winners on this team are my students, and I want to be able to focus on their success at Worlds. But I can't, when you in the back of your head, you're dealing with all this nonsensical drama and you have to hear about the drama, how it's like I almost have to go off social media so I can just focus on Team USA. Like, I don't understand. I guess for me, I just don't understand it because I've just never been that way. I've been in competition since I was young. And so maybe I just learned how to process defeat better early on. And, you know, it's something that I'm used to, or, you know, that I don't know. I mean, I go into a contest hoping I will win, and I will always put my best foot forward. But at the same time, I am not sitting there expecting anything to be handed to me. You know, here's a win for you just because you're you. No, 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 no,
Right.
no, no, no. The worst part is
And
when you.
that's my whole thing. And I think Tommy just brought up a good point though, Miriam. I find that there are people that have been gracious, and we don't want to diminish them and what they've given to the competition
Exactly.
or to any competition, but take them as take notes from them.
Yep.
Even though they didn't win, they still got on every week and supported everybody else. They still came back and they were still rooting for the next person, even though they got eliminated.
Exactly.
And
And that is great sportsmanship.
that's how you do it. Like literally, guys, I had to go on Worlds on a global video and hold up my flag and watch somebody else take the medal that I fought so freaking hard to get. But I smiled through the whole thing and did what I had to do.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Just look, we're getting opportunities to do things that many other people cannot do.
Yes. And it's realistically, you have to what. So what I'm trying to, you know, push forth is, even if you don't get the results you wanted, I am basically asking y'all, no matter what contest this is, to take the results. Don't go on social media right away.
Right.
Take a day or two to decompress,
calm
down, get out of your feelings, sort through your mess in your head, and then reach out to someone you absolutely respect and know that they will be honest with you. Not someone who's going to feed you stuff that you're going to want to hear, but someone who's going to be honest with you. Okay? Like Miko's over here, you know, he said that he used to get mad, but, you know, when he realized he was the one making mistakes, he was in competition with himself. It really is. I mean, you're not, just because somebody won the title or won the spot does not negate the level of talent that you were bringing to the contest. Not at all. You know, this was a very, very tight contest, and the smallest details, the smallest mistakes could have cost you.
And we had to be, as judges, we had to be that picky. We had to.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we are grooming and we're preparing somebody to represent the entire country on a global scale.
Right. And you know, we're sitting here. Michael has been to Worlds. I have been to Worlds. Our wonderful friend Miko, who's on the chat, is our world champion from 2018. We, all three of us who were on the panel, have been to Worlds and have competed on the world stage, have had to go up against these other national champions from other countries.
Like,
we
we're
know
not
the
playing
caliber.
With you. They are no joke. Yes.
We know the caliber.
Joke.
Okay. So
we're trying to tell you.
When we make our comments, it's because we observe the other competitors coming from these other countries,
and we know exactly
what caliber they're competing at.
Yes,
so
yes.
It's not saying that you're not an amazing, incredible singer in your own way. It was literally more on the lines of, here are some things that we think you should fix. But the problem is, if you don't fix them, and these coaches and these judges are telling you that this was an issue from day one, and you're not doing anything to fix it, and then you get mad at the end because you didn't score as high, but then we've been telling y'all from day one what to fix, and you haven't done anything to grow yourself, and then you're giving us the same stuff from on the finals week as you
that
gave
part.
day one, baby.
Let me speak to that real quick. What I noticed from a couple of people, I'm not going to single any person out, but what I noticed from a couple of people was the mentality of, well, nobody can't tell me nothing. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm going to stick with what I know. I'm going to stick with how I do what I do. If that is the case, and that's how you feel, baby girl, then you are in the wrong thing. You don't need to be in a competition.
Right.
You don't need to be in anything judged by, being coached by anybody. Go to AGT, go to The Voice, go to any of those shows where you'll just get a no. Do that. Because when people are trying to help you and you're taking it as they don't know what they're talking about and you're just gonna do what you want to do, you're wasting their time and your time.
And
And
like
what
I said,
frustrated
we
me
had
was that we
other
wasted our
people.
time.
Yeah, we had
Yeah,
other
there was
people to help. And
yeah.
our hearts were in this. That's the thing, Michael. I totally get it. For the coaches, our hearts were in this.
That's why I'm
Um,
so passionate about it.
right. And so it hurts. It hurts us more. I don't think you guys realize it hurts the coaches more, especially for this year. It hurt us more than it probably hurt you guys. And I'm not saying that to be like, oh, we're better or anything. No, it hurt us more because we invested so much damn time trying to get you into that stardom mode, and that we're invested in your success. That when you
Even
guys
even
feel
even
that
before
rejection,
even before they got into they even got to the point of submitting a video, we had already laid some groundwork. Josh and Katie laid groundwork. Then we followed up with them to work on how this was all going to happen,
right,
which was more time we took away from our lives.
right, you know. Um, the other thing I do want to bring up, and I don't want to like beat a, just I don't want to beat it to death. I think it's just be mindful that your
The
judges in any contest are human beings and they have feelings too, you guys. But this was a different forum, right? Most contests that I've been involved with, the judges judge you, you get your score, you see the scores, and you move on. The judges are sequestered. They don't talk to you. You don't get feedback from them until after the contest is done, especially with previous years of KWC. You didn't get your notes until after it was all done and over with. Okay? You didn't talk to the judges. You didn't know what they were thinking. None of that. This year was a little bit different because we were very much involved in your lives with giving feedback every week, because Josh and Katie wanted it to be a platform where singers can grow, where we can train vocal athletes. So we ended up giving up and volunteering our time and energy to helping to, grow, make you rise up and be in that mentality where you can go for the gold, right? So when we've invested that kind of time and energy, and then the next thing we hear is we're getting talked about on social media in a very negative light, where our credentials are getting questioned. Listen,
mm-hmm.
I'm not going to sit here and have anyone talking mad crap about my listening abilities. Okay. I have physical reactions to bad notes. I have physical reactions to bad phrasing. And I'm an empath, so I know when you are emoting or not, or if you're faking it. So don't give me that, none of that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I and a lot of these coaches and a lot of these judges are the exact same way. It doesn't matter if they can sing
Mm-hmm.
well or not, but if they have trained their ear, they know. And so for me, it was just a slap in the face with, because realistically, you guys, we gave up our lives for 2 months for you guys because we believed that you had the capabilities and we wanted to bring that out. And whoever grew the most or really took that advice, they're the ones that ended up on top. They're the ones that
Period.
ended up on top. Okay, it
Period.
has nothing to do with, oh, I'm a better singer, or, oh, there was a judge who was trying to sabotage me. Listen, who in the hell is getting any credit by sabotaging somebody.
Right.
I don't want to be mean, but it's not worth it. I'm not sitting here to sabotage nobody. And I know Michael sure as hell wasn't. I know Mika wasn't. I know Trevor, JC, Tommy, Ian.
Absolutely
None
not.
of us are going to benefit from trying to sabotage a singer. Because if my
What are we getting out of that?
if my goal was to sabotage a singer, I wouldn't be sitting here as a vocal coach.
Period.
So it's very, very important to make sure that, yes, are you going to be upset if you don't win a contest? Yes, it hurts. But at the end of the day, it's a karaoke contest.
Right.
Now, if your friend doesn't win, this is another topic I want to talk about real quick. I'm trying not to go off topic here. But if your friend doesn't win, and all the nonsense of, well, they should have won. Listen, I was in that position, you guys. You have no idea how much that hurts the actual winners. If you call yourself a friend of any one of these 4 amazing, incredible singers who are going to Worlds next month to represent us, if you have any level of sense, I would highly suggest you keep quiet and just support them. I understand if your best friend didn't make it through. I understand if your family member didn't make it through. I understand whatever the case may be, whether you agree or not. The moment you bash a contest or you bash somebody else because the person you wanted to win didn't make it through, not only does that put the person who didn't make it through in a much more awkward position, especially if they don't feel that same way, but
Yep.
it negates the very competition that your other friend may have actually won. And how would you feel if you're the one that won and other people were saying that nonsense about you? See, that's where I'm just like, that was actually something that happened to me. I went and I competed for 10 weeks. It was, every week was a genre. It was like an idol contest. And when I finally came out as the grand champion, I got to enjoy my moment for not even 5 minutes before people started talking shit out loud,
Crap.
talking about how I didn't, you know, I didn't deserve it. 5 minutes, you guys. For 5 minutes, I was a happy camper, and then they basically ruined my night. And so be very, very mindful. Be very mindful that, what you say and the gossip, the drama. Look, if you've got some personal issues with whatever went down, go address it with the very person that you have a problem with. Don't air out your nonsense, okay? Because realistically, I gotta say, I got beef on practically every contest that's out there. I've been involved in every single one. You don't see me sitting here airing out all the mess and all the details. I don't do none of that because that's not what that's for. Every platform is it can cater to different types of singers. So I will never sit here and start bashing other competitions, and so it was just, it's interesting that people want to bring negativity in an experience, and I don't think that it's helpful for competitors to hear all the side talk about how you should have won or you should have won or you should have won, because it doesn't make them feel any better. It really doesn't. I mean, I know people have good intentions, but it really does not make things feel better, because at the end of the day, I didn't win. So how is that, you telling me that I should have won? How is that supposed to make me feel any better? So y'all need to just quit with that nonsense, okay? Um Yeah, I'm looking at these comments, you guys, and I really appreciate that you guys are actually understanding what we're trying to get at. I'm not trying to be here and bring in a negative thing, but these are casualties of competitions. You're gonna get people who cannot take what they consider rejection very well. You know, but at the end of the day, it's a competition. You're setting yourself up to be judged by people. If you don't want that, don't go in the competition. You know, don't do it. It's just plain and simple. You know, if you wanted to grow, then that's what this was about. And I told you guys from day one, especially with this particular contest, since this is the most recent one and I was actually involved with it, if you grew as a singer and as a performer and this contest and this program challenged you to really bring out the star quality in you, then you've already won. You've already won, you know? So I just want to just be very, very clear that being a good, having good sportsmanship is also part of having that just winners, that champion mindset. I did my guest performance and I dedicated it to you guys because I wanted you guys to understand that, the acronym for champion is exactly what kind of mindset I was expecting out of the competitors. This is a completely different kind of competition. And I wanted you to grow and be in that champion mindset, that nothing's going to stop you. And even if you don't make it through, that you're still a champion, right? You're still a champion. You're still amazing and you're still wonderful. And you're still very, very talented. And you might find your niche somewhere else, right? But this poor sportsmanship, this negative attitude, and I'm seeing it in the comments right now with negativity being thrown in there that doesn't need to be there. Again, with the drama, okay? Knock it off. I've had enough of the drama. It
Hi,
is
I'm
not
sorry.
a
I'm here.
champion's mindset. It is not
I
a
don't hear
champion's
them.
mindset to be bringing drama into this. You know, and so it's I just feel like it's just important to have good mindset when you're doing competition. It's important to uh, be gracious and
Sorry,
be
guys.
classy.
Miriam, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I
Oh,
just had to step away for a moment. But
it's
can
okay.
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So I see that Ryan Hazy's in this chat, and I just wanted to address one thing. Just because a judge said or a coach said to a contestant, I may not be qualified, it was actually a compliment because they felt that the singer was so advanced that they didn't want to hurt them or hurt their chances in the competition.
And honestly, I think that's a very humble statement, to be completely
Absolutely.
clear. I think that's a very humble statement because look, if you're sitting there and you think that you know everything, then you're not qualified to be a coach,
At all. And I don't care
period.
what you got going on with anybody else who may be running the thing or whatever the case may be. These coaches put the time. I can speak for myself, and I know Miriam can speak for herself. We put our MF and time into this thing. And what you're not going to do is demean or undermine what we said or what we didn't say or how we were trying to coach these contestants, because it was not a game and it was not for fun. And I really don't appreciate you even being on here talking about what a coach should or should not do, because you were not one of those. Okay?
Right. Right. And here's the thing. I understand that the program was initially created to help build the contestants and everything. But if I'm not mistaken, that was also a contest. I understand you were not there to pit people against each other, and these teammates were not pitted against each other, although it was a contest. People were getting eliminated just like the live show. So let's be real. Let's be very honest here. Okay. Not once did I pit my teammates against each other. Not one time. And they were very supportive to each other throughout this entire competition. And I have to say, I'm very proud of Team Vocalgasm for sticking it out and supporting each other through this whole contest, because that shows class. And that is what we were honing in on. Maybe the word, oh, you're competing against your own team, maybe that statement might have rubbed people the wrong way. But realistically, at the end of the day, so was the live show, because I did watch it last year and I watched it the year previous. So let's not get it twisted. Because again,
I don't like that. I really don't. I
know
don't.
a lot of things. And if you want to start coming at me, I will start airing some stuff and put you in your place, because I am not that person that is going to
I don't like that.
No,
don't
not at all.
you can listen. Anybody can have their issues with a person personally. Have your issues. Do not take those issues out on everybody else simply because you feel that everybody else needs to behave in a way that you deem appropriate. Okay.
Right. And what we're not going to have is a he said, she said nonsense.
That's
Okay.
petty. Petty doesn't
Because
belong
you're only
here.
taking one side. There's always 15 sides to a story. Let's be real.
Right.
Okay. Just because one person says something does not make it the absolute truth. And let me tell you, there have been some things that I have heard that conflict with each other. And I'm not going to sit here and judge either party for saying what they said. But it's human beings, and maybe there were some people who didn't feel like their coach really gave them that time. But also, it could, on the flip side, be on the actual competitor to be proactive about getting the help too. Because like I said, when we first started this competition and we first started this program, the coaches were told that we would be doing this on our free time.
Right.
What we were expected from our contestants was to give up all of our time. And we were being contacted at midnight. We were
all
being contacted
times
at 3 a.m. We were being contacted in the morning at 7 a.m. We were being, look. Just
and
saying,
the other thing is, my other thing is,
the
there was a comment made about, well, it pitted each singer against each other. In the competition, they're against each other anyway.
Right.
So what would be the difference of a team versus 20 singers? I thought it actually was better because you only had 7 people to compete against rather than 24 or 20 or 15.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I don't understand where this mentality is coming from. But baby, all I can tell you is get it out of here. Get it out of here. Because I'm not that one.
Yes.
Miriam is very composed, very professional, but I'm Ratchet Hood. Get it out of here. Okay? This ain't the storm you want, Dorothy. Don't do it.
I try to be as, I'm just trying to make sure that you understand that we are human beings too. We have feelings. And I wouldn't sit here and support a competition that didn't have integrity and that didn't have the right mentality. Because I'm all for integrity and the right mentality. I've always lived my life that way. And very rarely do you hear me rant. But this is one of those videos where I am going to rant a bit. And I'm really trying to keep my composure because, trust me, when I go on a rant, sailors ain't got nothing on my vocabulary. Okay? Right. So I'm just sitting here as someone who has been in competitions and has seen all sorts of formatting of competitions. I'm not going to sit here and have anyone bash any competition just because you have a personal issue with how it was run.
Or you're having a personal issue with who is running it.
Right. Because it was a format that was set up and announced.
That's between you and them. That's a on the website. But here's my thing: that's a between some of these conversations that are being had publicly need to be had privately. Stop, grow a pair, and have the conversation with who you need to have the conversation with.
Right.
Stop telling us your business.
To the open. Like, here's the thing. Here's my issue is, If you have drama and you have beef with a specific human being, talk to that person. Why does everyone feel the need to air everything out? And this is when misinformation gets spread. Okay? And if you guys need a mediator, I will happily volunteer to be a mediator. I will happily sit there and have a conversation with you and whoever you're having beef with, and I will happily be a mediator because I will be objective. And I will tell both sides if you guys have the wrong mentality. Because a lot of times this could be just an issue of miscommunication and a lot of hearsay and a lot of rumors that are being spread, and he said, she said, and no one's getting the truth. That's all this is coming down to. So get it together. Get it together before you start upsetting so many more people. Because there was behavior that was being done that actually did upset the
Hold on.
contestants, and it wasn't coming from KWC. What you're doing, if you truly believe in these singers and you truly love the singers, and you want them to be feeling comfortable and go out there and do their best, what you won't be doing is doing anything to damage their mental state by bringing in
I don't understand what
nonsensical
she's saying.
drama.
It's breaking up.
You know?
I'm confused. Yeah.
We all are.
Yes, the singers were very fantastic, Ryan. Yes, they were. And you know what? It's very, you know, again, if you have beef, Ryan, if you have beef with what was said about you and Michael, you know, on the show, go talk to the source. Do not be bringing that to social media until you've squared things away. Hash it out with them.
Fuck my
This is
life.
ridiculous. Don't bring this into this conversation because realistically, the conversation is about sportsmanship. Okay? It's about sportsmanship. And it's about how the coaches did give up their time and energy to do this so that the singers can grow. And the backlash that we as the judges and the coaches, not KWC, but we as the coaches and the judges, we are the ones receiving the backlash right now. And that is what I wanted to address. And how it is very hurtful because I am a human being and I do have feelings and I am an empath. And I feel very, very deeply. So things like this really affect me mentally and physically. And so I want to tell you guys, anyone who is competing, please respect your judges. You may not always agree with what they have to say, but please respect them. And please respect the organization that may have given your friend an opportunity to represent the United States at Worlds. And please, you know, respect the competitions that give your friends the win. I don't know what happened there. Okay. Just please make sure that, again, and I feel like as a vocal coach, as someone who's been a competitor, I've been in your shoes. And I felt that I could be here to support you and judge you fairly and give you my critique so that you could be better every week, week after week. When I had to film my guest performance, I was nervous too. I totally understand the nerves and the efforts that every single person had put forth in their videos. And to be honest, it was draining, very much so. I'm an introvert, so a lot of this is very draining to go on and talk to y'all like this, but
Very draining.
very, very draining. It's you know, usually after KWC Nationals, the live nationals, when I come home, I am laid out for 2 weeks straight. I can't think of anything else. I have to veg. I have to eat ice cream on my bed and watch movies and just clear my head and get off social media because it is just too much. Because every year without fail, it doesn't matter what contest I'm in, I always see drama. And the thing is, if I start, Right. So, Michael, I'm serious. I'm telling you this right now. As much as I love every human being, if I constantly see negative stuff, negativity, and childishness, you might find yourself removed. You know, I love ice cream too, Ryan. I do. I really do. I need to watch my weight and my figure, but it's just very, very important that you guys understand that what you do and say affects your coaches and your judges and Josh and Katie and everybody else who was involved with the production of this show. Because if you want to think that we were personally attacking you, then your negativity can be seen on our end that you're personally attacking us. And that does not bode well for our relationship. And I love every person in this room, like I really do. I really do. So I just want you to know that even if a contest didn't go your way, doesn't matter if it's KWC, WKT is coming up. So if you don't get your way there too, just step aside, step out of it. Take a day or two before you go back on social media to do anything or say anything. Calm yourself. It is better to respond. Sorry, you sound like a little broken up there, Michael. But I want y'all to respond rather than react. Because when you're reacting, you're being childish. When you're responding, you're being mature. Okay? Let's all just be mature adults and know that competition is just competition. Okay?
And here's what, can I just say something real fast?
Yes. Sorry, you're kind of breaking up, so I had to fill the space a little bit. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's totally okay. I had to drive, so that's why everything's been breaking up. So, guys, for those watching, thank you for hanging in there and watching. But I just wanted to say this: if you have a personal issue with somebody, deal with your personal issue.
Sorry, it's breaking up again, Michael.
The rest of us love each other, and we're trying to keep an air of.
I think you might need to say that again.
Okay, hello.
Yeah.
Okay, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So all I really wanted to say is, if you have an issue with the person or a person, deal with that person, right?
Yes.
Talk to that person, address your issues with them, and both of you deal with each other.
Right.
Don't do all that vitriol and all that hatred and all that foolishness.
I agree. I absolutely agree. The entire competitive family does not need to know your business, realistically. Because what you're doing, if you have a personal issue, deal with it personally. Okay, talk to the person that you're having an issue with. Be a grown adult and have that conversation. Now that doesn't go for whatever is going on with this whole nonsense that's going on in the chat right now. I'm talking about, like, even if you have an issue with a judge, go talk to that judge. We're human beings. We're not going to sit here and go, I don't want to talk to you. Okay? We're going to tell you why. You want to know why you got scored that? We'll tell you why. You want to know why you might not have won? We'll tell you why. Okay? We also, in our panel, we might not agree with each other. Okay. But at the end of the day, the winners are the winners. And by doing all of this, it really hurts the winners because they need to focus, y'all. They need to focus, and they need to focus on this going for the gold. Okay. At this point, we are Team USA now, and we need to back our champions at the World Finals. And all this nonsense, this does not push for that positivity and that support that they need to go into Worlds. And that gruelingness of dealing with more videos. See, they have to create more videos, world level videos now, to go up against other countries. Okay, so they're not done yet. These contestants are not done. Your champions are not done. They still need your support. They still need your love. They don't need your negativity. They don't need your drama. They don't need to hear the backstories of whatever's going on. Okay? Let's just please keep it positive for them. Oh, thank you, Diane. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I get that, Ryan. I get it. Okay, sometimes it might be hard to talk to the person, but at the end of the day, you gotta try. But understand that by doing something like that and bashing certain things, what you're doing is you're hurting a competition that's creating a platform for these singers to showcase their talent, especially during this quarantine, especially during COVID, when we're trying to limit our face-to-face interactions. And this is what's keeping them motivated to keep up with their craft. And what you're doing is you're just bashing that. Don't do that. You guys, please, there's a contest for everybody. You don't need to bash one competition over another. You don't need to be upset with the judges because you asked to be judged. I hear a garage door closing.
That was me. I'm coming in the house because I want to sit my fat ass down and talk to y'all about this shit here.
That's right, Diane. None of you guys are done because now, for those who did not make the top spot and are not going to Worlds, y'all work's not done. I want you guys to I challenge you. I challenge you to the competitors who did not make the top 4 spots to go to Worlds this year. I challenge you to start honing your craft now.
Now.
For next season. Now. And I'm not joking. This is
Today.
not this is not just me saying, "Oh, just do so." No. If you want to prep, and Michael will tell you, if you want to prep, Miko will tell you. Talk to Michael. Talk to Miko. They'll tell you. They prepped months and months and months in advance, and so did I.
Period.
I didn't have questions about Renee. I didn't have questions about what songs I was going to sing because I already had them set. If I had been in this Keep On Singing program, I would have already known which songs I was going to sing, especially when I picked my genres during registration. I would have already had a mass list. And I also would have been working on some stuff while I was filming the other stuff. This is just how I work. This is why I am a champion, and I'm proud to be a champion.
Period.
Okay? It's your work ethic. And if you're going to sit there and be lazy and not do the work and not improve and not try to hone in on your skills because you're set in your ways, then don't expect to do well. When the coaches are telling you, this is what we're seeing, this is what we're seeing, this is what we're seeing, and it's the same issue week after week after week after week after week, when we've been judging you, what that tells us is you're not listening to us.
And here's what I will say to that. When you stop learning, you stop living. So if you want to keep living, then you need to keep learning. And that means learning younger styles, learning new styles, learning things outside of the genre that you're comfortable in. If you know that you're, I don't know, a jazz singer, or if you know that you're an opera singer, and you really want to kind of learn a different style, go learn that style. Talk to any one of us who do that style. Maybe we can help you. Maybe we can't. But at least try. Reach out. try to create yourself a network of people that you can plug into and get the information that you need to get to make yourself a better singer and a better performer. I promise you, there's no celebrity singer performer out there that has only focused on one genre of music. I promise you that.
That
I
part.
promise you that.
Oh, and you know, these celebrity artists, guess what they have? They have a vocal coach.
And they're worth millions of dollars. Millions.
Because they have to keep up their chops. Now, I know a lot of people in this contest decided to get themselves a vocal coach.
Mm-hmm.
I know who y'all are. Some of them are mine. Some of them are Michael Cagle's. Some of them are Katie Powell's. Okay? I think Bill has some people too. Look, there are people in this contest that are here to help you and motivate you to grow as an artist, okay? And if something's not working for you, then go find someone that can do the thing that you're asking or that you would like to learn.
Yeah.
Go find that person and ask them to help you. I don't know how to rap. I learned that rap. I don't rap.
And even though a performer is known for a genre, doesn't mean they only learn or have listened or are training in that one genre. What makes them the greatest in their genre is because they've taken outside influences and brought it in to their genre. So in reference to Michael Bublé, there's a perfect example. He's a young crooner, right? We all know him to be the epitome of a young Frank Sinatra. That's what he's been compared to, right? But I promise you, if you ask him, he's learned the jazz greats. He's learned all of the contemporary greats. He's learned all of the operatic greats. He doesn't do those songs as his profession, but he's learned from them and taken techniques from them to perfect what he does do.
Exactly. And bottom line is, what you want to do when you're in competition is, the hardest part, I think, for competitors is to get outside of their own heads.
Get outside of your own comfort zone. Yes.
Get outside of your head and get outside of your ego. Get out. Because so I was told this wonderful thing. They say that great singers don't have egos, and those who do aren't great singers. And here's why. In order to be a great singer, you have to put your ego aside and be willing to learn. And also, great singers don't have anything to prove. You are assured of your talent, and no contest or no judge or no naysayers are going to ruin that mentality for you. And so even if they said something negative, it doesn't bother you, because you know what you're bringing to the table and you are comfortable and happy with your own performances.
Period.
Okay? But when you're insecure, if you're insecure and you got an ego and you think you know everything, number one, that prevents your growth.
Yeah.
And that means that you cannot get any better than you are.
Because you're not making room to hear anything. If your cup is always full with your ego, you can't fill it up with anything else.
Right. And I said this before, what was I going to say? Hold on. You keep talking. I'll think about it again.
So all I basically want to say is that I love my character community. That's the only reason why I got on here, and that I agreed with Miriam to do this, because I agree with her that this needed to be said. I felt that this whole brand has grown to a point and has allowed a lot of things throughout the years. I'm going back 18 years or whatever, to fester and to carry on, and foolishness has ensued. What I'd like to see is how many of us, myself included, how many of us can put it together and put the nonsense and the bull crap aside and say, look, at the end of the day, we are all singers trying to do what we love to do, right? Mm-hmm. We can't let someone's subjective opinion of what we are putting out derail us from our goal, from our love, from our passion. If this is what you love to do, then do it. Stay with it. Learn. I don't understand the pushback that I get from some people, and the pettiness and the backbiting and the he said, she said nonsense. Stop. We're grown-ups. We're not kids. It's not a schoolyard. Like, let's get on with the business of growing as artists. Let's get on with that. Let's get on with building this up to where, matter of fact, there'll be a vocal studio in every state of that this competition's running that you can go into and you can record yourself an EP. Let's get to that level.
Yes.
Let's get to the level of having a national competition that can change and not just be in Las Vegas, but be every large venue in the country. Let's get to that level. And the only way we're going to get to any of those levels is when we start talking to one another as human beings and not as children. And we start dealing with our own personal demons and emotions about losing, having fear of rejection, and all of those things. See, those are part of your ego. That's part of your ego, is that fear of rejection. You don't want your ego to get bruised, so you'd rather it get stroked by someone else, but you're not growing. You're not doing anything with your vocal talent. If we didn't think you had talent, baby, let me tell you something. I would tell you in the nicest way possible, but I would tell you.
So here, I did remember what I was going to say. And it kind of goes along that line, Michael. It's the fact that singing, y'all, I think I've told Michael this and I've told other people this. Singing is a skill. And like with all skill, you have to continuously learn. Doctors need to go back and re-license every now and then. They have to go to these conferences to learn
certified and keep their license.
Yeah, they have to relearn stuff. Psychologists, anyone in the science field needs to do that.
Lawyers have to keep doing it too.
Mechanics need to go and get recertified and train on the new technology and everything. So they're constantly growing and evolving. And those that don't do that lose their license. In the same sense, singing is a skill. Okay. And I've always said that somebody who is willing to learn and hone their skill, okay, someone who's they might not start off strong, but if they're willing to put that backbone into it and they really want to work hard because that's what they really want to do, and they work on those skills and they work on those exercises and they work on that, they will overpower anybody with a natural talent but who is lazy. I will tell you that, and I will guarantee that.
Right.
Because that is one thing, like, you cannot skate in this competition on pure talent alone.
No. And let me tell you something. Mariah Carey, the person who's sold millions upon millions of records, has a book that just came out a few days ago. Okay. She made a comment. I'm listening to the book. So it's her voice talking to me in my ear. You know what she said? She said, precision takes practice. When I first got into the studio at a young age, at 18 and 17, I didn't know nothing about background vocals. I didn't know nothing. I could sing, but I didn't know nothing about being or having or any of that when it came to a studio performance, when it came to having layers in my voice, when it came to understanding harmonies. She goes, I had to hone that. I had to align myself with people who were professionals, and I was blessed to have people in the industry that were able to kind of help guide me along. But she didn't walk off the boat and walk out of Long Island and walk into a record label and say, sign me up. Like she literally took years to hone her craft, and she was doing it from when she was a little kid. Precision takes practice. So the same way you can learn how to ride a bike, the same way you can learn how to brush your teeth, the same way you can learn how to write an essay is the same way you can learn how to sing. And I don't care what you sound like. Every singer does not have to do a whole bunch. Jasmine Sullivan just got on YouTube and told everybody, because she has a new song out and it's an amazing running, right? She came out and said, by the way, y'all, you don't have to be a singer that can do a lot of runs. There's a bunch of singers, a gang of singers making a whole lot of money that don't do runs, that don't do any kind of runs.
Right.
The Weeknd is one. Okay. Jamiroquai is another. These are all people that have found their niche, that they found their sound, they've honed their sound, they've perfected their sound, and they stuck with it. And that's all you have to really do. You
And
don't have
runs
to
and riffs are a skill set on its own too.
period.
Realistically, you can learn how to do that. And for those of us who do already know how to do that, it's not really that big a deal. So when you start running and riffing all over the place and think that that's going to magically go, wow, vocal gasm. No, honey, no.
No, I was a bit. Let me tell you, I was the worst at doing that because I would. She'll tell you, I was the worst because when I didn't know what to do, my go-to was throw a run in there, just throw a run.
Mm-hmm. But it sounds sloppy to somebody who looks at it from a musical perspective, because I am first and foremost a musician. That's my upbringing. 14 years of classical piano training, a lot of ear training, a lot of theory training. You guys have to understand, I'm looking at this in a very artistic way, but at the same time in a very technical way as well. Mm-hmm. So when I listen to my boo over here doing runs and riffs all over the place, I was like, you don't know what you're doing, huh? You had no idea what to do there, did you? That's why you threw that in there? And he turned bright red, like, how did you know that? And it's like, I can tell because it just didn't fit.
And that's how I had to learn to appreciate the beauty in the silence of moments and songs. I had to learn the simple beauty of a line of a note was what I had to learn. I had to learn how to really appreciate. I didn't get it. I didn't get it at first. And so I was just blah, 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 blah. And she was like, "Boo, what the hell you doing?" And I was like, that wasn't good. And she's like,
everybody likes it when I do that.
And she's like, And I was like, oh. And that's how I had to learn. I had to teach myself and really strip it back and let her strip me down and build me back up. And then that's when I kind of learned, just keeping this simple makes this whole phrase sound different and gives it a whole different meaning. And that's how I learned.
It's an energy thing. And that is something I do want to discuss. It's an energy thing, Yes. I mean, I know we sat here and probably took up your time, and I really appreciate you guys watching and chiming in, because realistically, I mean, it feels like a rant. Or at a certain point, it was.
I've been ranting.
It did get a little heated. It did get a little heated. However, we are people and we do have emotions. So because we trust y'all and we love y'all, we're gonna vent to you. And we're going to tell you where you mess up. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. That's just my nature. Mm-hmm. Please don't take it out on me like that, okay? Just know that anything I say comes from a place of love, but it's also coming from a place of disappointment, because the behavior that I'm seeing right now is disappointing me, because when I bring you into my world, when I love you and I bring you into my heart and into my mind space, okay? Mm-hmm. Any room that I give to people on my mind is also time that's being taken away from my family,
other things, my job,
my schoolwork, my business. So I only want positive. Okay, right. I really do. It really energizes me when I see people being just supportive of each other and loving each other and encouraging each other. It motivates me and it just energizes me, and I'm just like, yes, get it, About the negativity, I'm just like drained, and I'm like, I don't want to go on social media. I don't want to do anything, So it's, I just want to focus on how amazing people are, your artistry, everything like that. We are just here to help you and what we think is going to make you a better singer. As coaches, yes, were we judges? Yes, but first and foremost, the reason we're in this competition, this particular one, was because we had the ability to actually go face to face, one on one with you guys and go on this journey and help build you up.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Garvando, fantastic vocalist. He doesn't do a whole bunch of runs and riffs.
Right.
He doesn't have to.
Doesn't need to.
He's not one of those. Grant does.
Mm-hmm.
And he's fantastic in his way.
Mm-hmm.
Tamika can do the runs and riffs too. But she selects where she's going to put them to fit her style, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And we got Miranda over here. You know, all right, we got peoples. You guys come support your USA champions.
For real.
Be positive, even if the outcome isn't what you wanted. Be gracious, be classy. Don't hate on the judges. They were just doing their job, and none of us got paid to do this. We are all volunteers.
Exactly.
We're all volunteers, okay?
Exactly.
By being that way, it really kind of diminishes and depreciates this very competition that maybe your friend just won. And it depreciates and diminishes our time and effort. And it makes me even, I mean, I'm seriously over here with all this negativity that was going on. I'm over here questioning whether I want to do this again.
Right.
Why would I want to subject myself to such scrutiny from other people like that when I'm only here just trying to help, you know? And it's like, you know what? I'm just thinking like, honestly, Michael, I was over here like, do I even want to do this next year? Maybe we need to revamp it.
You know how I felt about it.
Right. It's like maybe we need to revamp it or something, but I don't know. And I'm over here like, I know that my team really enjoyed being on my team. They really learned a lot, and I was there to support them. But again, it cost me, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it cost me a grade in my schooling. I did that for you. That was a sacrifice. Now I gotta do everything in my power to get my grade back up in that class. Okay, because my mind was filled with KWC because I'm so devoted to this competition. I'm so devoted to the singers in this competition. Okay, like I had to play with my child yesterday because he had been waiting for 2 months to play with mama, and my kids had to be put on hold. My boyfriend had to be put on hold, and so when I'm getting backlash like this. When I go on my Facebook and I see that people that I've known and who I considered friends have unfriended me over this, just because I didn't pick them on my team, which let me clarify that real quick, since this is nice and public forum. Let me clarify real quick. My team, I don't mean no disrespect to my teammates. My team was made up of the underdogs. People who needed to get structure, people who were new to the competition, or who would never rise above a certain level, who never quite could get up there into that final rounds or into that top tier, okay? Because I am a vocal coach first and foremost. And so for those people who didn't have that and they were kind of always towards the bottom area, you know, or who are shoddy with their technique, those are the people that I collected into my team. Because I am a vocal coach, and my field of expertise is to help draw that out and solidify technique and help them, especially for those new people that were in the competition. They're the ones that I wanted to get that champion mindset instilled in them, how to think, how to dress, what to expect of this competition. That is what I was about. So if you were a top tier, like powerhouse individual where you could have gone to any coach and been successful, you were not on the forefront of my goal for my team.
And for me, my team was really about soul singers. That was what I was really focused on. I found one singer and then I kind of built around that because I wanted a continuous theme. I'm not a vocal coach. I never made myself into being one, but I know from my own self from singing, I've gotten years of being taught how to sing, being taught the foundational stuff. I had just recently worked with Miriam, so therefore I still had that information that I was willing to pass along to whoever was on my team. But my team was centered around soul singers. That was my theme. That was my goal. So when certain people got offended that I didn't bring them on my team, I didn't want to offend you because I didn't want to bring you on my team and you feeling lost. Like, well, what the hell am I doing here? Why would you even put me in here?
And I know there were contestants who had, I know there were contestants in this who had their hearts set or maybe they vibed well with something, you know, a particular coach said and they wanted to be on that coach's team. Listen, we didn't have as much free will about who we're going to pick for our team as much as you think we did, okay?
Right.
It was a
Literally.
roulette situation, all right? And we had to pick off of whatever. Like, Michael over there has stole Samantha Payne from me. He knew I wanted her on my team, but he stole her because he got to pick first. Okay, so let's be real. I was like, I need to build my team up with new people and with those who really need technical work, because that is what I do. I help to
And let me
establish
clarify.
fundamentals.
Let me just clarify something, because I did pick Holly Smelson, who was not a soul singer. So let me just be transparent. The reason I picked Holly was because that I think she was either one of the next to last ones, and there really wasn't any other soul singers left.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to pick somebody that I knew was a strong singer for me, and that would be willing to take direction from me, because I knew I wasn't a vocal coach, nor had I been in this competition for 10 years or 6 years. I'm still a failure newbie. I've only been here 2 years, and third year now. But I didn't want anyone to feel no kind of way. And I already had some veterans in my team that are multiple state winners that I would have to deal with that attitude, right?
Yes.
So I'm trying to limit the amount of ego I would have to deal with. And I knew Holly wouldn't have any. So, and I knew she was thirsty because she was new to this whole thing, and she really wanted to just sink her teeth into the competition and do the best she could do. So that's why I picked Holly. And I know she wasn't a soul singer. I know somebody's going to say, well, why did you pick her if you want a soul singer? That's why I picked her.
Right. You know, so you have to understand that each coach had a vision for their team. My vision was to get some newbies, some babies, brand new people, not associated ever with this competition before, so that I can establish them correctly on what to expect. Now, did I have some people who were in KWC before? Yes. Yes, I did. But they didn't do very well. They didn't do as well as I knew they could do.
Right.
You know? So I wanted to bring that into the whole my team mindset. So when people who are top tier singers, who are a beast all on their own, who've made finals, you know, who've been in the top, get upset because I didn't pick them, it's not a personal thing. I had a goal, you know. It's not that I didn't think I couldn't work with you. Or that I didn't believe in your talent. My goal was to bring out the talent from the underdogs. And that was important to me because they were the ones that needed the most support. And they were the ones that needed that fundamental work.
Right.
So that they can come back and be better and they could be greater. And it's just drawing something out of them, you know? And I know that a lot of people, you know, kind of slept on some of my teammates. They were just like, oh, okay, whatever, it's no big deal, you know, just they're kind of down here, but you know, blah 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 blah. Well, guess what? Team Miriam just had 2 of my teammates in the top 5, y'all. And y'all were sleeping on them. That's the point. That was the point. And I'm so proud of both Miranda and Renee and Kennedy for pulling out what they did. You know, and then they really, really had to go above and beyond, you know, above and beyond and pull something out of them that they didn't think they could, you know, and that was important to me. If you think you're already a star and you've got that mindset and you've been in this contest and you've done well and everything, I think that I'm sorry, but that wasn't on my mind, you know. And it's funny enough, you know, some of them were the ones that unfriended me because I didn't pick them for my team. They were mad. And I'm like, why? Why? You could have come to me. You could have come to me and hired me as a vocal coach during this entire competition. You could have been working with your coach and hired a vocal coach on top of that. There was nothing in the rules against that.
Right.
There's nothing in the rules. Y'all could have all reached out to me and you know, scheduled a session to actually get some vocal work done. The only person standing in y'all's way was you. Because there's nothing in the rule book that said you couldn't get yourself a vocal coach to help you alongside your team coach. So if you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I didn't do well. No, listen, if you did not do everything in your power to do your best and give yourself the best chance, the fault lies on
with you. Period.
Nico didn't let that happen to him. He got 5th place 2 years in a row. He said, I'm done with getting 5th place. I want to get that win. And and this year is gender neutral. Oh, I really got to win. I got to do everything in my power. He went and got himself, he hired me and he hired Katie Powell. And the both of us worked on him. And he took every advice that we gave and he worked hard for months, prepping and planning and prepping and planning and prepping and planning. And he won gold at the U.S. Nationals. And then we picked right back up. There was no rest time. Prepping and planning and prepping and planning. He became a world champ. Michael would not take no for an answer. I was like, I'm taking a hiatus because I'm gonna compete in duets.
No, you ain't.
It's like, no, I'm in solo, so there's no conflict of interest here. Right. I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, so what did we do? We coached. We worked. Prepping and planning, prepping and planning, prepping and planning. Mm-hmm. Go on to win the gold. Mm-hmm. Did we rest?
No.
No. Prepping and planning, prepping and planning, prepping and planning. Worlds. Last year's Worlds finals in Tokyo, Japan was probably the most rigorous, the hardest competition I had ever witnessed. Mm-hmm. And I can say that because I've watched Worlds since 2011. And I will tell you, that was the toughest competition I had ever seen. So for Michael to come in 5th place, to even place in top 5 when it's gender neutral, was a feat all on its own. Okay? So you have to understand, when you want to get that world champion status, you've got to start working like a world champion. I'm sorry. You can't just be coming in and think that this is just a karaoke competition. You want a title of world champion? Get the mindset down.
Right.
Get the mindset down.
So Chris Hoffman has a question. He said,
yes,
I'd love your thoughts. There are a lot of coaches on the scene. Do you have any advice on finding the right coach?
Finding the right coach is somebody who, so me personally.
Thanks, DJ.
Me personally, because I come from a music background, okay? And I think, Michael, this is one of the reasons I think that you decided to go with me. Being in a musical background, you don't want someone who's just going to tell you you're great every 5 seconds.
Right.
I'm not paying you to be my cheerleader, okay? I'm paying you to tell me where I'm messing up. I'm paying you to tell me where I'm messing up and how to fix it. And give me the directions.
But more specifically, I think they need to look for coaches that it's specifically strong in what they feel they need help on, right?
Yes.
Because if I'm a great singer and I have all the technique that I need to have, I have the breathing down correctly, I have all that done, but I suck at performing, then you're not going to be able to help me on that sense. I need to go to a performance coach. So there's all kinds of coaches that specialize in what they do. So if you are looking to amp up your performance side because you feel like you have your vocal side down, then go towards that, and vice versa. But I also think you can do both at the same time. I mean, you don't. Again, it depends on how much money you want to spend, how much they charge, and all that kind of stuff. But if you want to be a well-rounded performer, singer, everything, then I would suggest you have your time with your coach, who, like Miriam, can focus on breathing and focus on the technique and focus on getting your range expanded, right? And then you go to another coach that can focus on stylization or more performance, that can
I
help you
do
with
all
block.
though.
That right.
I
I know
do
you do
all.
all, but I'm just saying some coaches don't. Not every coach can do that. And I would hate for a person to feel like they're stuck when they're not. They can still go to that same coach, but go to
Yes.
another coach at the same time. You
Yes.
can go to two coaches. The point is coaches need to learn to work together.
Right. Right. So if you are working with somebody and you want to work with somebody else, make sure that both of those coaches are on the same page, because you might be learning a skill here, and then this other person might be completely different and have a different mentality,
Exactly.
and then it
Exactly.
confuses
If
you.
you're like, so for instance, if you're looking to learn how to do runs, don't go to a coach who doesn't know how to do that. If you want to learn how to effectively move on stage and really present yourself, don't go to a coach who doesn't have that kind of experience. Go to a coach that knows how to do that, that has proven themselves how to do that, and can show you how to do that.
Right.
It's like
Right.
going to a doctor. You go to the right doctor for what you want to get fixed. Period.
Yes. So, we all specialize in different things, right? So for me, my specialization is vocals and technique
And strategy.
and
She's
strategy.
amazing at strategy. That's the biggest thing a lot of y'all are missing. When it comes to competitions, it's not just about talent. It's not just about performing on stage. It's about strategy. It's about building that momentum. She taught me that. She taught me that. She taught me that. Building that momentum from the very gate, from the first performance, building it up. So that way, even if you had a not so great performance, you've built up so much momentum that it pushes you into where you want to get to anyway, which is typically that last performance.
Yes.
And that's what you need. You need strategy. This woman right here is the chief strategist. You hear me? Chief strategist. She needs to go work for NASA. Okay, she's a strategist, girl. That's hidden figures right there, okay? Y'all better don't sleep on her. Okay. And that's another reason why I went to her, because I realized she was able to put together an order of songs that, even though for me, I wouldn't have done that. But then I
Thomas is straight
sat
up.
back and I said, wait a minute. I was like, oh, I see what you're doing. Okay, girl. And sure enough. And that's what helped me win.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely matters about strategy. And I'm someone who believes that every song needs to stand up on their own merit. I know that in
Right.
this contest at the very beginning, they're like, oh, if you want to experiment with a song, you put it in round one, blah, blah, blah. No.
Right. No.
A champion doesn't do that.
Wait, what was it again? Say it again.
A champion doesn't. We're going to just try this song. I'm not really familiar with it, but we're just going to do it because it's just fun. And I'm just going to throw away my points. It's fine. It's no big deal.
That was blasphemy in Miriam's class. That's blasphemy. You want to see her head explode? Go ahead and say it to her. I dare you. Go ahead. You want to hear her shout and scream? Go ahead and say it to her in her coaching class. She'll come get you.
Every
Just
song you pick needs to be finals worthy. Period.
Right. And I think that people, I did the same thing too. I was married to certain songs because I love them, and they were my tried and true, right? But I had to learn to unmarry, to divorce those songs temporarily for the sake of winning a competition. And I think that's really important for people to remember. You don't have to be married to your tried and true, because what you think is going to work in a competition is not competition type of song. Just saying.
Period.
And what you need to learn is how to take a song that you probably wouldn't have picked for yourself and turn it into a competition song.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That is the mark of a true artist. When you can take a song and completely flip it into your own, that is when I take my hat off to you.
Yes. And
I
that's
gotta take
what
it
we
off today
did.
because
That's
my
what
hair
we
ain't
worked
done.
on, Michael, with your impossible
Mm-hmm.
dream,
Right.
with your this is the moment,
Right.
making it your own. And we worked very, very
Right.
hard to create. It's like it's an homage to the original, but at the same time, it's Michael, right?
Right.
So when I'm coaching someone, I'm not trying to fit you in a box. That's not
Right.
what this is about. I'm trying to draw out your sound, your star quality. And yes, Chris, a good coach will challenge and push you. And you can ask Michael how much I challenged and pushed this man. He's every time we had a coaching session, he goes, "Oh Lord, I'm about to die." I said, "Yes, you are."
I was sweating, y'all. I had to take a shower after each one because she worked my abdomen like I thought I was having a baby. I
You
was sweating.
I make him work so hard that literally it feels like you just spent an hour at the gym.
I'm telling you, worked me out, child.
But you as a vocal athlete,
Yeah.
so guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna work out. But we
Oh
gotta develop those
my
strong
God.
vocals, right? But again, it's not just about your skill set, it's your attitude. Your mindset needs to be that of a champion, and a champion mindset does not wallow in negativity. And that is the main point about this entire freaking rant video is get out of your heads with the negative bullshit and focus on the positives, focus on how much you've grown, focus on how much you have just developed and blossomed into an artist. And if you feel like some of the things the
Amen.
judges have said in the comments or the whatever is kind of bugging you a little bit, come talk to us. Come talk to us.
Yeah.
We'll direct you to the right people to help you. And if you're willing to invest
Right.
in this and you really want to get better, look, I'll tell you this right now. If you want to get better at a skill, you have to be willing
You got to
to spend
invest in
some
it.
money. No joke.
That's
No joke.
it. That's it.
You don't even understand how much money my parents spent on my piano lessons. Okay. Don't want to know. I could probably have a mansion right now. Right? But you have to invest in skills. And if that is
In
something you want
yourself,
to do,
yes.
right, if that is something you want to do, and if you wake up in the morning and you want to sing, and you go to bed at night with music in your head so you could go to sleep, if you can spend $50 on a haircut or on a meal,
Mm-hmm.
you can afford a vocal
You better
coach,
preach. You better preach.
right? I was telling Michael, I'm like, a vocal coaching session with me is like taking me out to dinner every week. That's it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. So
Mm-hmm.
be willing to, if you're willing to work and you're willing to grow and you're willing to absorb that and be a ShamWow. And I love that Chris is on here because, Chris is just such a positive person. And Diane, you too. I mean, you guys are such positive individuals. And I've seen you guys supporting, each other through this whole contest. And it's such a beautiful thing to see. And I really commend you. I have to commend the people that are, being classy and positive.
Mm-hmm. I loved Chris Hoffman's whole demeanor. Yo, when I tell you I smile watching that boy, I was like, you better work, Diva.
I
Yes.
can see
And Diane made
clearly
me smile
now the
too.
rain is gone. Yes, baby.
Yeah, baby, that video will go on in infamy, honey. I promise you. I'm gonna put it
It's
on a
like,
projector screen. I'm gonna play it whenever I get sad.
I always feel bad too because if I have to critique it, I have to critique it, right? And it's like I couldn't
Right.
stop smiling, but at the same time, your smile was like fading into the background kind of situation. So I'm like, I want to see more of your face though. You're so handsome. And oh my gosh, let me tell you, when you came on that screen for Never Enough, I was not expecting that. I think I screamed.
Baby, I said you were paying for the back row, honey.
I
Like,
had
the
so
balcony
much
drawing.
fun. I had so much
I
fun.
loved
But
it.
what I love the most about Chris is his attitude. He has a champion's
Yes.
attitude, you know,
Mhm.
being supportive of other people who are doing the same thing
Mhm.
and putting forth the same efforts and stuff and acknowledging them and just being kind. That to me is you're already a champion because you've got the right
Period.
mindset, you know,
Right.
and it's people like that. It's people with that kind of mindset and
Right.
that hunger to learn. Those are the people I want as my students
Right.
because they're not going to give me a headache.
Right.
Just saying. You know, but I am a perfectionist, you guys. I don't, those who are close to me know I am a huge perfectionist.
Oh
So
my
when
God.
something is just, I'm just like, I hate my voice so much. Y'all don't even know. There was actually a part of the point in time where I didn't even want to hear any recordings of me singing because I'm like, ill. I don't even know
She's
why people like
crazy.
that.
She's
I
crazy,
don't
y'all.
know
Don't pay
why
her no
people
mind.
like that. Right. So I had to learn to kind of like get used to my voice too. But that's because I'm a huge critic. So I'm literally judging myself as a judge, like an outside judge, how I would judge other people. So if you think that I'm being harsh on you, you have no idea how harsh I am to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Same.
not one bit. Y'all have some
Same.
leniency because it's like I don't have to hear that voice coming out of my mouth. You know, I like that. That's nice. That's a real nice sound. Like Chris, your vibrato is everything. It's honey. It is
Yes.
honey to me. I'm just like, ooh,
Mm-hmm.
it just it swells my heart up. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. Um, and it's like I want to get my hands on all of you guys. You don't even understand.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sink my claws in and just be like, just work with me for 4 sessions. I will get you there. You
Mm-hmm.
know, people were sleeping on Miranda.
Oops. I never was, but other people were.
Some people were sleeping on Miranda.
Because
Let's
I
be
won
real.
my team. I say they're coming
Mm-hmm,
for it. They're coming for it.
mm-hmm.
All right, you
And
guys. Well, we gotta
yeah,
go. We want to thank you so much for taking all the time to be with us and to put
listen,
up with
yes, you
all the
were.
rants that we were doing. We love you. We want you to be encouraged. We want you to stay encouraged. We want you to keep KWC at the forefront of your minds, on the forefront of your tongue. Make sure you are kind to another person, to another singer, to a coach. Take the time out to thank your coach if you haven't already. And again, for those of you who didn't make it to the finals, we still love you. We still think that you're amazing. We think your talent is undeniable, and we want you to think the same thing about yourself too. And don't hold it against our hearts. Don't think that we don't love you. We still love you, and we are gonna love you even beyond this. All right.
Yes.
So good night, everybody. We love
Good
you.
night, you
Thank you
guys.
so much.
Love you so much.
Mwah. Bye, y'all.